Hey Scruffy, how you doing? Okay, yeah, so we're about 7 minutes early to dinner. So I got your super supper and kibble. So the smoke is kind of thick today, so it looks really dark right now. So I guess I'll bring out your food. But yeah, even though it looks dark, yeah, we're not early. We're not late. Okay. Oh, you're charging the door, huh? So I was just gonna bring out your food. Not much going on in here. Yeah, the weather. Oh, they're coming in. Yeah, the weather was nice today, so it's not any nicer in here. So what you looking for? Nothing? Okay. Oh, why'd you hiss at me? So just gonna put the food on the table. Okay. Clean the water. Okay, so I'm gonna change the water. Yep, new water. Okay. So I'm gonna get the glove and sit in the chair. So try not to scratch me tonight. So the temperature was really nice today. It cooled off. It was actually supposed to be warmer than yesterday, but it wasn't. And so it's a nice relief from this fairly hot. I don't know. It's been a couple months, I think. So we had a couple days that I guess were okay, but yeah, this is I think the first day I'd actually say was at least in the early morning. I'd call it cool and not just tolerably hot. So I got up early again. Didn't want to. But yeah, I wasn't able to sleep in. So I knew the weather was supposed to be nicer today. So I knew I was going to go for a bike ride. Didn't know exactly when, but since I got up early, I thought, well, maybe we can go early for the bike ride. So I checked the weather, and it was actually cool. And when I first got up, it was actually kind of dark. So the smoke, I think, is actually kind of bad right now. So it's acting like a cloud layer. I think maybe it was doing this last week too, but the difference this time is, yeah, the weather is cooler. So with the thick smoke layer plus the cooler weather, it actually kind of cooled down the weather even more. Oops. He had to itch himself. So I was getting prepared to leave. So getting all my gear, putting sunscreen on, because even with the smoke layer, I knew the sun was eventually gonna come through. But by the time I actually left, the sun was already bright and strong, so it finally pierced the smoke layer. But unlike other days, the smoke, I think, actually did mute the sun intensity to some extent. So other days, I don't think it did much good, but today, it definitely felt cooler. So even with the sun bearing down on me, it wasn't nearly as bad as it usually was. And then with the cooler air, it was actually pretty nice, especially when I was in the shade. So in a few places, at least early on, say in the first half hour, I was actually feeling a little chilly, which I haven't felt in many, many months. But yeah, within a half hour of my ride, yeah, the sun was getting stronger, but the smoke layer was still keeping it kind of muted. But you could definitely feel the presence of the sun at that point. And so a little bit of sweat, was coming down for me when I was in the sun, but it wasn't bad with the rest of the cooler air. So I decided to do the hill climb number 1 on the exposed hillside, and I feel looks like he's about to fall over there. So yeah, so I did the hill climb, and yeah, the sun wasn't too bad. And then after I did that climb, I decided I'd do the hill climb number 2, which is still on that exposed hillside, but it's even higher up. Usually, in the past couple months, I haven't done that climb because the first climb I'm usually fried by the sun, so it's like I don't want to do that anymore. I think I did that climb, I think, within the last month. So there was one day where we had, I think it was more smoke, and so it was muting the sun also. Though it wasn't that cool that day, if I recall, where today it was actually kind of cool. So I felt, I should take advantage of that. That would hurt a bird. Heard it again. Sounds like it's in the trees in the yard there. Not very far from here. So I'm surprised Scruffy's not bolting over there to get a meal. So I did the second hill climb, and then I kind of went back to my standard route. So I saw a couple deer. I think I saw 3 different deer today, and a bunch of turkey vultures. So there were 2 deer as I was going into the park. Actually, no, I was a little deeper into that, so I was already in the park, and I was approaching the exposed hillside, and I was kind of far, but yeah, one of the deer bolted because there were, I think, 4 or 5 other cyclists coming from the main road, and they were much closer to the deer, and the deer got scared and ran up the hillside. the other deer just continued to forage off the side of the road. Didn't seem to care. So I think I will see that group again. I didn't take notice of who they were specifically at that time, but I think I see them again when I leave the park, which I'll talk about. But the other deer and turkey vultures I saw was when I was leaving the park. They were just outside the park on the main road, or the main entrance into the park. Yeah, they were all on the side of the road, big cluster of turkey vultures, and then there's a deer next to them. And not normally something I see. I sometimes see turkey vultures hanging out, and sometimes I see the deer, but I don't usually see them together. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen them together. Okay, Scruffy, I think you're ready for food, huh? Your food? Finish up these pets? Yeah, I think you meowed there for your food, huh? Okay, let's get your food. And, at the top of the standard hill climb, there's actually it actually connects with the not-so-secret entrance path. And there was a crew of, I don't know what you call them, forest workers. I'm not sure what their actual title is, but basically they were equipped with a lot of heavy machinery, chainsaws, and trucks, and they were cutting down a lot of brush and branches and small trees, and yeah, they were really thinning out that not so secret trail, and it really needed it because that trail has been overrun with poison ivy. And the brush is really thick there too. And yeah, they really do need to thin these out, especially since we've got so much fire danger in this area. So it's nice to see them clearing that out. So when they finish, I'm going to have to try going back up the not-so-secret trail and see if the poison ivy is all gone. So as I was leaving the park, I eventually, encountered a group of bicyclists in front of me, and they were also leaving the park. And the way the park is structured, basically when you leave the park, it's all downhill. So it's like all uphill going in and all downhill going out, which actually makes it a really nice ride. So if something happens to you and you got to turn around, it's a lot easier to go back than to try to get out. So if you have a emergency, or if you're just injured or tired, or have a mechanical problem, it's a lot easier to retreat. And you're not really trapped in because of the hills. So it's one of the reasons I really like going to this park. But yeah, anyway, I basically caught up with these cyclists that were leaving the park. The main group was ahead, and then there was one guy, looked like he was sticking back. I'm not sure if he was guarding the rear or if he was just kind of resting his legs and just taking it easy. Since we're all going downhill, nobody's actually like working very hard to leave the park. But when I first encountered them, I was going a little bit faster than them, and I had to hit the brakes so I wouldn't hit, run into the trailing guy. So I was debating if I was going to try to overtake him and then pass everybody. But as time went on, he started speeding up a little bit, and then he broke away from me, and then he slowed down again, and he kept kind of doing that. But I noticed he was actually just kind of gliding, and usually when I would catch up with him, he was using his brakes, so he wasn't really pedaling much. Whereas I was not rigorously pedaling, but I was pedaling very, very gently since I'm going downhill. And then I realized that the quality of the bicycle was really coming into effect now. So I was really seeing the difference, I think, between they were using pretty modern road bikes. So they have they're thin and light, and they have the thin tires. And I have I forgot how old is it, 30-year-old mountain bike. So it's much heavier, much fatter tires, much older everything. And I think basically the weight of my bicycle and the fat tires compared to the modern sleekness and lightness of bicycles was making all the difference leaving the park. So I was expending a lot more energy, basically just keeping up with them going downhill. And none of us were working very hard. So eventually we leave the park and spill out into the main street. And now it starts becoming flat and actually a little hilly, so there's a little bit of uphill, downhill, and of course traffic. And they're still in front of me, but I noticed, they start pulling away from me. And at this point, everyone has to start pedaling now. They are not pedaling very hard. I'm actually not trying that hard, but I am noticing I'm falling behind, and it would actually take me considerable effort to keep up with them. So I was actually curious who these people were, and I was wondering where they were going, because I caught a glimpse of their shirts. So they're all wearing matching shirts, and there was a URL on them. And so apparently, they were all part of a bicycle club. And I looked them up after I got home, and they're a bicycle club from a couple cities over. So they actually, traveled quite a bit of distance to get to the park today. So I tried following them and trying to keep up for a while, and then when they hit stoplights, I'd sometimes catch up with them just because they had to wait at the stoplight. Eventually, they kept going their direction, and I needed to go a different direction to get home. So which way I parted ways. But I could tell that they had a long way to go. And then I confirmed it when I looked them up on the internet, and they're a couple cities over, and they're part of a cycling club, nonprofit, and they do these types of things regularly, though I guess they have all sorts of different routes that they do. But today was booked. It was a 4-hour ride for them. They left early in the morning, and I was supposed to go into for 4 hours. And I figured they probably had roughly an hour left to get back from where I saw them. So they still had So even though they did the park, yeah, they still had to get home, so they still have another hour to go. So pretty serious ride for them. And I was the one who was struggling to keep up, which is funny. So I think, yeah, it means that I will not be able to join any bicycle club unless I probably get a better bicycle, because I wouldn't be able to keep up with the rest of the group. So I don't think it's the fitness level, because I think I'm actually in okay shape now. I think I had more to do with the bicycle. Oh, Scruffy's not sticking around anymore. Okay, folks, I'm going to call it here. I actually need to water that tree. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.